You probably don't think much about the air inside your home until you start to feel it. The stuffiness, allergies acting up, that heavy feeling in a room that just won't go away. Here in Florida, we run our air conditioning almost year around, meaning dust, bacteria, and mold can build up in that system fast. And every time it kicks on, it's pushing that straight into the air that you're breathing. I'm Diamond Walker with the USA Today Network of Florida, and I sat down with Ron Saunders, the founder of ProIAQ. We talked about why regular AC cleaning is more important than people realize and what it actually takes to keep the air inside your home clean. Here's our conversation.
So I'm Ron Saunders. I'm a father, half part time, but I'm a degreed engineer. I have been working in the air conditioning industry for almost 26 years, and my focus has been indoor air quality. And indoor air quality has become a passion in my life. I've started up my now third business related to indoor air quality in the industry, and that keeps me busy full time. Yeah, so when we think about air quality, I try to help homeowners and general population understand that they care so much about the food they put in their body and the water they put in their body, and take so many precautions with those two ingestibles, but really no one considers air quality until it becomes a problem, like the wildfires or smog or just even asthma allergy related illness seasons. So, until it becomes a problem, we don't really consider it. But really, we're breathing in a lot more air than we're putting food or water into our bodies. So, I try to help homeowners understand why air quality is important, especially when they go into their own homes, which, because air quality has been kind of pushed to the side for uh, energy consumption. So we're trying to make buildings tighter and tighter. And what we've done is we've stressed out a lot of air conditioning systems where now they're not just about putting cold air or hot air into the living space, but now we're using these central air systems to actually filter and purify the air, which is a great way to maintain better air quality for the home and also, of course, the inhabitants.
Can you talk a little bit about how air quality can affect your health?
Yeah, I mean, over 60% of the population suffers from asthma and allergy related illnesses. And a lot of those are air related. And it could just be pollen, at certain times of the year. But there's also, you're very susceptible, as we found out through COVID, of spreading viruses from one person to another. There's always a new disease in the news, and whether it concerns us or not, based on geography, or even if it's something that could be airborne or not. I think we have to do our best to maintain the healthiest environment that we can for our wife, spouse, children, which and grandparents. So air quality affects everybody. When we teach technicians to go into a home, we don't say, is there anybody in the home that has asthma allergy related illnesses? But for those that suffer, because it's over 50%, that if there's more than one person in the house, there's a very good chance that someone in that home uh, has has indoor air quality related issues. And years ago, people said, "Well, I have a filter in my house. It's good. It came with the equipment." What a lot of people don't know is the equipment itself provides a filter only to protect the equipment. It has nothing to do with purifying the air. It's to keep sticks and rocks and stones from getting up into their equipment that will, obviously, there's a blower and a motor and a fan, and it will get inside the fan and short the equipment and make it fail. So when you see a filter along with most air conditioning and heating systems, it's designed for mechanical means of keeping the equipment free of any debris. So when we start to say, well, let's purify the air, then we start to say, all right, let's improve our filtration, whether it's biological filtration with UV lights or photocatalytic oxidation or some type of carbon or charcoal or the new corderite systems that help to take odors out of the air, um, or it's just a mechanical means of filtration. So you start to talk about HEPA. And then, the other part of indoor air quality that a lot of people in certain areas of the country are very concerned with is humidity. So high humidity causes a lot of issues related to mold and mildew and viruses and just helps things spread. So, and in some areas of the country, they're introducing humidification. So in really drier climates, like in Arizona and New Mexico. So, yeah, we look at air quality as degrees of filtration and product. There's a lot of products in the market. Some of them are good at some of the things. Some are good at only one thing, which is okay. So, it takes a portfolio of products to really achieve the best indoor air quality.
What is a sign that your air quality is bad?
A lot of people will say, do I have bad air? And really, do you have trouble sleeping? That's a sign that maybe you're not getting enough oxygen inside of your air. So maybe you're not running your fan enough. Maybe you don't have enough outside air. So maybe you have some source of problem inside of your home that you haven't addressed that is basically circulating throughout the house. The HVAC system are the lungs of your home. So if you've got anywhere in the house that has a problem, it's going to get into the lungs of the HVAC system. So it could be just that you're tired all the time, or you're sneezing all the time, or you just don't feel as healthy inside. You know, there's a long ago study from the EPA that said homes or indoor spaces really are up to 5 times more polluted than outside air. And so if you go outside and you feel better, and even though you say, well, I have the pollen issue, but I'd rather be outside than inside, um, that's a problem that you can address, especially when you can use filtration with pollen to get rid of what's inside of the home. So ideally, we create an indoor space that's even healthier than our outdoor space. Room by room air purifiers can be effective, but here's the problem with them. If you get a really effective unit, you're going to spend a pretty good amount of money. And it only handles maybe a 10-foot by 10-foot space. And as soon as you open that door, you dilute its ability to control the environment. So, for a proper home where you may have 5 or 6 rooms in a house, bedrooms, family room, kitchen, basement, you're looking at, thousands of dollars for products that probably need to be cleaned or have spare parts on an annual basis. Or just the warranty is only 1 year. So we, at our company, and there's a lot of companies out there that provide a whole house solution that has up to a lifetime warranty and parts change outs of as little as 3 years, or as and potentially even more. So they're much less expensive, but they also get the whole house. So you're using this giant fan and your central air system to become an air purification system, where it was originally not designed to do that. But by adding indoor air quality products, we're able to achieve higher goals in air sterilization, purification, filtration.
Perfect. You mentioned something about UV lights. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I would say I have more experience in that technology than most others, although I was involved in particulate and water and oil purification in my early 20s. And then I worked for an environmental laboratory for a while, which actually also used UVC light to kill microorganisms. So I've been involved with UVC since way back when, but ultraviolet light can be very effective when used properly and applied correctly. It's not the ultimate in indoor air quality. It's just one of the pieces that helps reduce microbial growth, especially in an air conditioning system where you've got a cold, dark, wet space. It's the perfect breeding ground for microbials. Now, if you put just a regular light bulb in there, it won't do anything. It just allows the microbes to see each other. But when you see a UVC light inside, it actually affects the DNA of microorganisms, and it won't allow them to reproduce, which effectively kills them. So whenever we do a training class and say, hey, has anyone replaced a UVC light on its maintenance every 1, 2, or 3 years, depending on the product? Um, the hands rise up. I've replaced them. And I always ask the same question: how's the air conditioning system look? And it's always the same answer. It looks like it's brand new. So there's no microbial growth. So it allows the equipment to run more efficiently, more effectively, and it doesn't get that gunk that gets into your drain lines, that clogs them up, that people use a wet dry vac to flow out, or they call their AC person because the air conditioning's not working. And almost always you'll hear a whirring sound in the background when the AC guy shows up because he's cleaning out all the slime and sludge that comes from the air conditioning coil itself. Now that we have all this technology in our life, it's great to ask a lot of questions before you purchase anything, but also kind of to define what are your issues. Is it an odor problem? Is it a asthma allergy related problem? Again, all products don't solve all problems. So the more homeowner can be educated, but also if you have a trusty air conditioning heating technician that you value, and they say, hey, I have this in my own home, or I have a lot of customers that really love this product. They say it's made a difference in how they sleep and their overall health and comfort. I tell you, go with your gut. But also, if you don't feel good, if you're feeling like there's a little bit of pressure on purchasing something, you're not sure how it works, get a second opinion, just like you would anything related to your health. Get a second opinion. So equate air like you would the food you put in your body, the water you put in your body. Create as healthy as food as you can. It'll make you feel better. The better water in your body, it'll make you feel better. So concern yourself with air like you would those other two things that you put inside your body, because you put a lot more air in your body than you do food and water. So, and you can control the environment a lot more than you could 15 years ago. So, consult the professional. Air conditioning companies are great. But if you're not feeling like this is not the air conditioning company that I feel is giving me the best advice, shop around.